This is a presentation on leadership theories in Chapter 17. We will discuss the Fiedler model, the situational leadership theory, and the path goal model. This class was led, of course, by Dr. Boger. Enjoy!
The Fiedler contingency model proposed that effective group performance depends on properly matching the leader's style and the amount of control and influence in the situation. First, you need to fill out the least preferred coworker questionnaire, where respondents write one person they least enjoyed working with. From that score, you can determine the working style you prefer, which is either relationship or task-oriented. Relationship-oriented people are primarily interested in good personal relations with coworkers, while task-oriented people are primarily interested in productivity and getting the job done. After an individual's leadership style has been assessed to the LPC, it is time to evaluate the situation in order to be able to match the leader with the situation. The three contingency dimensions that define situational factors and leader effectiveness are leader-member relations, task structure, and position power. Situations 1, 2, and 3 were classified as highly favorable for the leader, 4, 5, and 6 were moderately favorable for the leader, and 7 and 8 were described as highly unfavorable for the leader. Task-oriented leaders perform better in very favorable situations and in very unfavorable situations. Task-oriented leaders perform better in very favorable situations and in very unfavorable situations, while relationship-oriented leaders perform better in moderately favorable situations.
Hersey and Blanchard developed a leadership model called the situational leadership theory. As the name suggests, it states that a leader's effectiveness is contingent on their followers' readiness. This is different from the Fiedler model because it is a more follower-oriented approach than a leader-oriented approach. There are 4 dimensions and 4 levels of readiness, which we will get to in the next slides.
There are 4 dimensions in SLT. There is telling, in which the leader defines the roles for the people and commands them to do each task. This is a high task, low relationship ordeal. The second dimension is selling, which the leader provides supportive behavior and helps guide everybody. It's a high task and high relationship ordeal. Participating is third, in which everyone shares the decision making. It's a low task, high relationship, and it's sort of like a democracy where everybody participates. Delegating is the last one, and this is a low task, low relationship. The leader provides little direction or support, and everyone does their own. Workers' readiness is a worker's ability and willingness to do work. Reason 1 is where people are both unable and unwilling to take the responsibility needed. Reason 2 is when people are unable but willing to do the necessary task since they might lack the appropriate skills to do so. Reason 3 is for people who are unwilling to do what the leader wants, but they're able to. Reason 4 is where people are both able and willing to do what is asked of them and is the most efficient readiness for a worker. SLT says if you have people who are reason 1, you need to use a telling leadership style. For people with reason 2, it is selling style. Reason 3 is participating, and reason 4 is delegating.
Alright, so we're going to do an overview of the path goal model. The path goal model states leaders assist followers to attain their goals and provide support. There are 4 leadership styles in the path goal model. The first one is directive, and the directive model is where the leader lets employees know what is expected of them and tells them how to perform their tasks. The second one is the supportive. A supportive leader is directed towards the satisfaction of employees' needs and preferences. The leader shows concern for their employees' psychological well-being. This is behavior especially needed in situations when tasks or relationships are psychologically or physically distressing. The next one is participative. The participative leader believes in consulting with employees and asking for the suggestions before making a decision. The last one is achievement-oriented. The achievement-oriented leader behavior refers to situations where the leader sets challenging goals for employees, expects them to perform at their highest level, and shows confidence in their ability to meet the expectation. This chart talks briefly over how external factors affect outcomes. For example, workers with internal locus of control prefer participative leadership behavior because they feel they control outcomes, so they wouldn't want a directive leader.